Good afternoon, students. Am I audible? Am I audible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Whether whether the screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we are going to start with the third practical, that is Brazenham's line drawing algorithm. So first practical we have seen, that is the basic shape drawing using using the inbuilt functions in the graphics that we have completed. The second we have seen that was DDA line drawing algorithm that we have completed. And now we are going to start with the third algorithm, that is third program experiment, that is Brazenham's line drawing algorithm. So already we have studied the Brazenham's line drawing algorithm in lecture. So directly I will start with the execution. I will explain the program one by one, step by step, and then I will show you the execution. Okay. Whether you are able to view this. Okay. Whether you are able to view the screen now. The program
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So the program, it is displayed on the screen. Actually, my computer is Windows 10, on which the DOS is giving some problem. So I have executed this program on desktop machine with Windows XP, and then I have recorded the screen and executed the program and taken the output. And so I have prepared a small movie or kind of clip to show the execution of the program. So just look into this. So in this blue screen, you can observe the first already whatever the things we are doing, like hash include stdio.h, hash include graphics.h, and math.h, because mathematic related function I require in this program. So I have included all these three header files. Then I have taken x, y, x1, y1, x2, y2, dx, dy, and e. E represents the variable. By checking the value of e, we are going to see whether to increment x or whether to increment y, right? So in Brazenham's line drawing algorithm, it is already discussed that we are using this algorithm to draw a line by using the integer arithmetic. So the integer arithmetic is like either we have to increment x or we have to increment y. So we have seen this algorithm for a line which is having the slope. So this is your first quadrant, and the slope is less than 1. So the line is more increasing towards x-axis than that of y. So this type of line we are going to observe. So here either here the thing is that, so if I am going to draw it in a pixel like structure, So this is your current value x0 or x1, y1, that is your first pixel. And then we have seen either as it is more incrementing on x-axis, more inclined on x than that of y. So x increments faster. So we have seen this part. So this is your delta x. The value of x is moving faster than that of value of y. So this is the delta y value. So x increments faster than that of y. That means the current pixel is this. So this pixel I will be indicating with red color. So this is my current pixel. This is my current pixel. And to select the next pixel, either I can select this one because x is incrementing faster, but y is not incrementing at that point. Or I can have this pixel to draw a line. So either I can select the horizontal pixel where x is incrementing, y is constant, or I can select a diagonal pixel in which x is also incrementing and y is also incrementing, right? So whether to select this one or whether to select this one, it totally depends on the E value. So whether E, or in our example, in our program, we have denoted it with P. So P is the variable which determines, so the value of P. If P is greater than equal to 0, and when P value is less than 0, so there exist two ways. So if P is greater than equal to 0, we are going to increment xy and change the P to its next value. So we have seen the example with this. So depending upon this P value, we are going to select either x plus 1, y plus 1, or we are going to select only x plus 1 pixel. Okay, so that is the background. Again, I am discussing with you so as to get clear idea about this. Okay, so either to select this pixel which is on the top, or I have to select this pixel which is based on the P value. And here for P, I am indicating E because E indicates error term. So minimum will be the error term that will be good for our line drawing. So this error term should be as less as possible. Okay, so that is how I will move further. I will explain the next program. So next is what? Here I have declared xy. So xy indicates the indicators or the coordinators which I want to display. So input pixel, I will be using this xy coordinates. Okay, in the put pixel, I will be using this x and y coordinates. Then x1, y1 and x2, y2, these I have to accept from user side. The lines which they want to draw on the output screen. So depending upon that, x1, y1 and x2, y2, these are the two end coordinates given. Dx and dy are the difference between x1, x2 and y1, y2. So dx is x2 minus x1, dy is y2 minus y1. It is same as that of DDA. And E represents error term that I have just explained you. Then integer I, GD and GM. So graphics driver, graphics mode, all of you are aware about. And I is the variable that I need to use it as a count in case of while loop. So I is my increment variable, I can say. Okay, then I'm taking the two inputs x1, y1 and x2, y2 from user side. So all of them, they are declared float, and I'm accepting these inputs from user side. Okay, so up to this, is there any difficulty? All of you are getting this? We are entering the values x1, y1, x2, y2 from user side and accepting in x1, y1, x2, y2 respectively. These are my end coordinates. All of you agree with this? Is there any difficulty?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So let us move further. Okay. So here, as usual, once the coordinates are with me, x1, y1 and x2, y2, I will be initializing graphics. Detect graph, whether you use or not, it does not make any difference. It just initialize your graphics mode. It is also done in init graph. So you can cut this line of detect graph. It is not required. So here it is init graph. Okay, so in this init graph command, I am passing the three variables: GD, that is graphics driver, GM, that is graphics mode, and the path for the graphics interface folder, so BGI. Okay, next is dx and dy. How to calculate dx and dy? That is nothing but x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1. It is the difference value, and that's why they are always positive. So I have taken here absolute. Okay. Next is x is equal to x1, y equal to y1. So I am initializing, I want to execute, I want to start printing the line from xy. That is your first coordinate x1, y1, which is entered from the user side. Let us say 10, 10. So from this particular point, we will start drawing our line. Then we are going to initialize the decision variable E. So E is nothing but your that is error term, or we can say decision variable. Depending upon E's value, we are going to select either x increment, y increment, like that. So here E is equal to 2 into dy minus dx. Okay. So that is already we have seen how this term is evolved, right? How this term is evolved. We have seen that E is equal to 2 into dy minus dx. So I have initialized E to this value and I equal to 1. So initialize the counter variable I equal to 1. Okay. So I have initialized the graphics, then calculated the dx and dy values, then initialized x and y to x1, y1, so that I will start printing the line with x1, y1. Then E error term or decision variable I have taken as 2 into dy minus dx and I equal to 1. Okay, next. Okay, so next what I have done is I have used here do while, and while I value is less than equal to dx. Why I have taken up to dx? Because the line is more inclined towards x-axis. That means dx is more, right? Dx value is more than dy, and that's why I have taken here I should be less than equal to dx, right? Then I am using this do while loop. So what is delay function over here? Delay of 100 milliseconds. So it is nothing but it will hold the screen, or it will what we can say pause. It will pause the screen for 100 milliseconds so that you can find how the line is incrementing, how the line is getting printed 1 by 1 pixel. So for that you can use a delay anywhere in your program to check the output, right? And delay function is used here, 100 millisecond it is used. It always takes this value in milliseconds. Then put pixel is the command which will plot x comma y value, and 15 is white color. So I'm going to put the point at x comma y. And what is the xy value we have taken? It is our first coordinate, x1, y1. So we will start drawing the line from x comma y. Now I will check the value of the decision parameter. So I will check the value whether E is greater than equal to 0. So if this decision value is greater than equal to 0, then I will be incrementing the y value. I will be incrementing y value. Else, in the else part, y will not be incrementing. Only x value I will be incrementing at that point. Okay. So here I will be incrementing only y value if greater than 0. else I will be incrementing only x, y will not change. And as this y or x is changing, e is also changing. So your e value is also changing. So we have seen that. So whenever e is greater than 0, it is changing with e minus 2 into dx. And whenever it is less than 0, then it is changing with 2 into delta y. So this is the else part. Then I will be incremented, and I will be executing this loop till I is less than equal to dx. So till the I value is less than or equal to dx, I will be executing this loop and putting the pixel after a delay of 100 milliseconds. Okay, so that is about the program. Okay, so in this way, by using this program, I am able to draw a line only on the what we can say, only on the screen, and the whole screen is acting as your first quadrant. Right, we are able to view the line in the first quadrant by using this particular program. Okay, so let us see what is happening next. Okay, so this is your first that is about the first program. So here I will show you the execution. Okay, so you can see here the inputs I have given 10, 10, 100, and 100. So I have given these 4 inputs 10, 10 and 100, 100. So x1, y1 are 10, 10 and x2, y2 are 100 and 100. So whenever I will run this program, I will be getting the output. So I'm getting a line that I will show you. Just a second.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Whether you are able to view the output. Yes. So that is the screen which is having a output which is starting a line from 10,10 to 100,100. Because with output screen, I was not able to record the screen in XP. So I have taken a photograph of this output. Okay. So next is I will show you one more this practical a program in which I have divided the screen into 4 quadrants. So that is there in this program. Yes. So see here, what are the modifications I have done in the earlier program. Okay. So already we have discussed, if I want to divide the screen into 4 quadrants, I have to draw a vertical line, which will be your y-axis, and the horizontal line, which will be your x-axis. So for that, I have used these 2 line commands, in which line get max x by 2, 0, get max x by 2, get max y. So this will give you the vertical line where x coordinate is at the center and y coordinate is changing from 0 up to a maximum y value. So this is your vertical line, that is y axis. And the second line is 0, get max y by 2. So this particular point where the half of the screen is available on the horizontal x-axis. So line 0, get max y by 2. So here y value is half and x value is 0, and get max x, that is maximum of x value, and y by 2. So here I am going to get the horizontal line at the half of the screen. So this is your x-axis. So I have added these 2 lines. And then I have already discussed in the previous practical that if I want to shift any point with respect to your origin, that is the center of the screen, then I have to use get max x plus x value and get max y by 2 minus y value. So the same thing I am doing here. So you can observe these 2 lines I am enabling in my program, which will be dividing the screen into 4 quadrants, and I will be making this line disable, which was earlier line, and this new line I am making enable, in which the x value is something to do with the maximum x by 2. So it is nothing but the center point. If you remember, I will show you. Okay, so what I have done with this line, I am getting, this is your screen. Earlier, the screen was having 1 line only, this particular line from point 10, 10 to 100, 100. So this line we have got, but now I want to shift this line in its appropriate quadrant, because this is your line 10, 10 to 100, 100, and that should be there in your first quadrant. So with this line command, get max x by 2, 0 is this particular point, and get max x by 2, get max y is this particular point. So I'm going to draw a line from first point to second point, this one. Then the second line command is starting with 0, get max y by 2. So get max y by 2 is this, y axis is divided into two parts. And 0 is this coordinate, 0, get max y by 2. And this is your get max x by, get max x, the maximum x coordinate, and half of y. So I will be drawing a line from this to this. Okay. So that is about this meaning of these two lines. And put pixel is nothing but maximum x by 2 and maximum y by 2. So this is your origin point, right? This modification, get max x by 2 and get max y by 2. Earlier what we are printing only xy values. But here we are printing get max x by 2 plus x and get max y by 2 minus y. So because I want to use this as origin. So this is acting as an origin in which I am having these two parameters of origin, get max x by 2, get max y by 2. So I am adding x value to get max x by 2 and reducing y value from get max y by 2. So we have already seen why we are adding this and reducing this in the previous practical. So I am putting the pixel now with respect to our origin after dividing the screen into 4 quadrants. Getting this? So that is about with respect to 4 quadrants, I am going to draw the line. All other parts are same. I have not done any changes in the algorithm so far, only performed the modification, that is divided the screen into 4 quadrants and added get max x by 2 and y by 2 while putting the pixel. All other things are same, you can observe here. So this if else loop as it is, while condition as it is. And whenever I am running the executing the program, I will be entering the values of x1, y1 and x2, y2. Okay, so I have taken these 4 values. Earlier, what was happening in DDA line drawing algorithm, if you remember 10, 10 to 200, 100, we were not able to get a line. We were able to get a line if only it was horizontal, vertical, or 45 degree. But now with this, we are able to get the line. Okay. So I will display the output for you. Okay, so whether you are able to view the output now, in which the screen is now divided into 4 quadrants, and I have started drawing a line from 10, 10, and it has reached to 200, 100. I have taken the video also for this, but I am not able to share the video from my mobile. Let me check, because then you will find how delay works. So this is the line after 100 milliseconds, how one by one pixel is getting printed, so that you can observe. Let me check the other options to share the video from the mobile. Whether any one of you know how to share the video from from mobile? Okay, so you can view here I have taken the recording also, in which you are able to view the line is increasing. 1 by 1 pixel it is printing with a delay of 100 milliseconds. Okay, so that is how this DDA line drawing algorithm works. Brazenham line drawing algorithm works. Okay, so is there any difficulty? Yes, students. All of you are understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So with this, we are able to draw the lines in any of the quadrant. Just you have to specify the X and Y according to the values. Like I can draw any object or draw in any line from first quadrant to fourth quadrant or first quadrant to third quadrant, like that. And for that you have to specify the points accordingly. For example, if I want to draw a line, so these are the 4 quadrants that I have drawn. And if I want to draw a line from the first quadrant to, let's say, third quadrant, then I have to specify the coordinates accordingly. So for this first quadrant, I will be specifying both the X and Y coordinates positive. So I can have, let's say, 20, 20, this particular point. From this, I will start drawing a line, and I will reach to a point where both the coordinates are negative. Let's say minus 200, minus 100. So here X value is X, dx is more, right? Because the slope is less than 1. So you will start drawing a line with get max x by 2 plus x and get max y by 2 minus y. Always remember we have to draw like that. So input pixel we have to always specify get max x by 2 plus x and get max y by 2 minus y, because your actual origin is at this particular place at the top left corner of your screen. And for that, whatever we are drawing is with respect to this point, which is your get max x by 2, get max y by 2. So x is incrementing and y is always decrementing with respect to this. So once I will give these coordinates 20, 22, minus 200, minus 100, then I will be able to get a line like this. So this Brazenham's line drawing algorithm is giving you more accurate line, okay, with as compared to DDA, and it is faster also because it uses only integer arithmetic. Here there is no floating point arithmetic available, because either the multiplication is done or addition or subtraction. Division operation is not there in the whole program, and that's why you are not going to get any float number for manipulation. You will be getting only integer number, and which will improve the speed of this algorithm. So Brazenham's line drawing algorithm is more accurate, more fast as compared to DDA line drawing algorithm. Okay. Is there any difficulty here? So you also try to do all these programs at home. You also should do all these programs at home and get the things executed, and you will find that all the outputs, the comparison between DDA line drawing and Brazenham line drawing, you will come to know. with this particular thing. Getting it, all of you? Okay, so let us start with the third practical or with the third algorithm. This was our third algorithm actually, third practical. And now we are going to start with the Brazenham's circle generation algorithm. Okay. So whether all of you have completed the DDA line drawing algorithm, execution of it? Okay, I will definitely send the code, all the C programs which are working on this group. Okay, tell me whether you have completed first two practicals. All of you. Roll number 34, A division. A division, roll number 34. Roll number 34 is there, A division. Roll number 19, A division.
Yes, ma'am.
So whether you are doing the practicals at home for CG?
No, ma'am. This practical I'm not done.
No, Brazenham, leave it apart. The first two practicals, whether you have completed any shape
Yes,
of your choice and DDA line drawing algorithm?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So I am asking randomly to the students. B division 23 roll number. B division roll number 23. B23 is absent. B23 Sanika Patil. B49 Tejas.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, whether you are executing the programs at home?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, nice. Whether you have got the output for DDA line drawing algorithm?
No, ma'am.
So which program you have completed? Yes. Which program you have completed then? First practical you have completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Which shape you have drawn? Yes, which shape you have completed? The first practical was about different shapes by using the inbuilt graphics functions. So, which shape you have completed? Not done any of the program? Tejas? See, until and unless you start implementing the program, then only you will find interest in computer graphics, because whatever you are doing, you are achieving some output, then it will create more interest among you. So you have to always complete the whatever the task is given regarding practicals, because this is online going on. So I cannot check each and individual student whether he or she is doing it or not. But whoever have sent me the photographs of their assignments, I have already replied them. Yes, those who have already, yes, Shubham, those who have given me or submitted me on WhatsApp, I have checked those outputs. I have suggested the corrections. If you are getting any errors, I have solved. But if you are not doing, then you will not be able to find interest in the computer graphics subject. Right, this subject is very interesting. As you go on doing the practicals, you will get some outputs. It is, you can view that output, and you can check by yourself where you are going wrong and all. So that is a very good thing about computer graphics, that whenever you are executing, you yourself will find out your mistakes, and you will learn a good computer knowledge or programming knowledge from it. So it is very important, all of you should do, because if were offline, then handling a batch of 20 students and making them to do the practical is easy. I can go personally and check on each machine that whether you are getting the output or not, whether you are stucking. But here the online is going on, and that's why you have to think of your programming knowledge, right? And that for that you have to execute each and every program. Okay, you should get the meaning of each and every line, whatever you are writing in your program. You should be able to explain it, and then you can write, then you can do any program by your own. You can do any type of animation also, right? So all of you, it's a request. It's good for you only if you do the program in time with utmost sincerity. Okay, so that's it. We have completed the third program today, Brazenham's line drawing algorithm, and we have seen how we are getting the output only in the first quadrant, and by dividing the screen into 4 quadrants by using the delay function, how one by one pixel is getting printed. So this much part we have covered today, and now we will see the circle generation algorithm. So already we have studied the Bresenham circle generation algorithm and what is the or what we can see, what is the key idea behind the circle generation is the circle is getting reflected through 8 axes or the circle is getting reflected 8 times. So our job is to draw only this much part of the circle and then perform the reflection. You will be getting this part if I will do the reflection with y equal to x. Then for this complete part, if I will do the reflection with respect to this x-axis, I will be getting this portion of the circle and so on. That is, if I'm going to reflect the circle with y-axis, then I will be able to get the whole circle. And that is the simplicity of this algorithm is I can just draw this much part and I will get the whole circle generated. Okay, so that is the principle behind this Bresenham's circle generation algorithm. And if I have only, I'm going to draw a circle by considering this part as the origin, center of the circle, origin as the center of the circle. Yes, please make your mic off. So what is the main condition? That whenever we want to draw a circle, our origin should act as our center, right? But what happens to your screen? Your screen is like this with this particular point as your origin 0, 0. Okay, so if I am going to make this point as my origin, I am able to get only quarter circle, which will be there in the first quadrant. All of you agree with this? Because as this this top point, left top is your origin, and the remaining second, third quadrant are this side. So even though I am drawing the complete circle, only visible part is in the first quadrant, only visible part is a quarter circle, this much only. And for that purpose, we are going to use our previous method of dividing the screen into 4 quadrants. Once I will divide the screen into 4 quadrants, I am going to shift the origin from this particular point to here by making use of get max x by 2 and get max y by 2 coordinates. And then with respect to this origin, I will be able to draw the whole circle. Getting it? So if you want to observe the whole circle, then you have to divide the screen and shift origin here. And if you are able, if you don't want to shift the origin, if you want to keep it as its original location, then you will be able to get only quarter circle with our algorithm. Getting it? So try in both the ways. First, do not try to shift the origin. Write the whole algorithm. You are able to view only the quarter circle which will be available in the first quadrant. Remaining 3 sides, remaining 3 quarters will be absent. Then the same algorithm, just I am going to divide, that is addition of these 2 lines, and instead of put pixel, I will be using, instead of put pixel xy, I will be using put pixel get max x by 2 plus x, get max y by 2 minus y. And when I will do this, then I am able to get the whole circle with this new origin. Okay, so that is about the circle generation algorithm. So let me start writing the code for it. So I will not write the preprocessor directives now. Hash include stdio, hash include conio, hash include graphics, hash include math. So you have to add all those 4 things by default here. So I will be starting with void main directly. Now what you have to do in void main? First, my job is to take the value of x, y, and or instead of xy, I have to just take the value of r. R is nothing but your radius. So I will be taking the integer r value, then GDGM as it is, integer GD, integer GM. Then I need XY values, X comma Y. So all these things I require here because X is incrementing and Y, all these things. Then I will have init graph. So I will not write the whole thing now because all of you are aware about what is init graph. So init graph initializes the graphics output screen. I will be taking the ampersand GD, ampersand GM and dot dot slash slash BGI. So that is the path for BGI folders. So init graph command. And then I will be using the actual algorithm steps. So I will be accepting the R value from the user. So in short, I will write a pseudocode. Consider it because I will not be print radius. That is print means accept radius. Instead of print, I will write accept radius. So here you have to accept you have to get the value for the radius by using printf scanf statements as usual. Then in the circle generation algorithm, what we are going to do is we are going to start with X and Y values as. So what are the initial value of X and Y? While drawing circle, what are the values of X and Y? In the circle generation algorithm, where we are going to start drawing the circle from this point. If you remember, from this point, I will be drawing the circle up to y equal to x axis. And this point is having x value as 0 and y value as r. So I will be having x value as 0 and y value as r. So whatever r value we are taking from user side. Then my first job is to draw this point, right? My first job is to draw this particular point. So where am I going to draw this point? So for this, I am having this particular value 0r. So 0r is this point. If I am going to replace it by 0 and minus r, I will be getting this particular point. See here. So okay. So currently with 0 comma r, I will be getting this point. Now, if I am going to replace, if I am going to change the sign, so 0 comma minus r. So its reflection, I will be getting this particular point. Then r comma 0. So whenever I am going to take replacing x by y and y by x, then I will be getting r comma 0 as this particular point. Then r minus r comma 0. So that is nothing but minus value. So minus this particular point. Okay. So with this, that is with xy, that is my first point, x comma y. Then I will make x comma minus y. Then I will make y comma x. And I will have y comma minus y comma x. So by making all these combinations, I will be getting this result. Okay. So I will be able to get 4 points with a single coordinate, x is equal to 0, y equal to r. Okay, so I am going to put all these points onto the screen by varying the values of x, y. I will be changing the sign of them. I will be changing the order. X, y becomes y, x, like that. Okay. Now what will happen once x and y values are these two? Then my next job is to calculate the value d. And what is that d is? D is nothing but your variable based on which you are going to check whether to move horizontally or whether to move diagonally. So if you remember here, first thing is I can move horizontally or I can move diagonally down. So that means x is anyhow going to increment. So current value of x will be changed to either x plus 1 in both the cases, but whether the y value is going to decrease, that is our question. Y value will be y minus 1. So here in both the cases, x is going to increase either in the horizontal movement or in the diagonally downward movement. X is anyhow going to increase. If you see this, so current x value is 0. It will change to 1. It will change to 2 and so on. But y value will be remaining same in first phase and then it will start decreasing. So you have to select which value. Either y will remain same or y will change its value to y minus 1. It is based on the factor d. And that d we have seen already. D value is 3 minus 2r. So we have calculated this value d as 3 into 2r radius. Okay, and based on this d value, we will be either moving horizontally or downwards. Okay, so this much we have already seen in the lecture, that how every time this value is accepted or how to change this d value appropriately. So we are having the while loop. So in the while loop, what we are going to do is while condition. Which condition we are checking? While y is greater than equal to x. Because y we have started already greater than value x. Y is r and x is 0. So we have to go on increasing x and decrease y till both of them will become equal. Because we are starting with this condition where x is 0 and y is r. And we have to reach up to the state where y and x both become equal. So this particular axis. Okay, so we have to draw this much part only. So in the while loop, the condition is given. So what you have to do in the while loop? You have to increment x anyhow. X is going to increment, right? In both the cases. Here you can see either you can move horizontally or diagonally, then both the cases x is incrementing. Then next what you have to do is, then you have to check the value of d. So if d is less than, d is greater than 0, I will check first. What will happen if d is greater than 0? Then you have to do y minus minus. Then you have to move diagonally down. And d also will change its value. As y is changing, d also will change. And what that new value of d is? D plus 4 into bracket x minus y. 4 into bracket x minus y plus 10. So we have seen how this expression has evolved. Okay, and in the else part, else means what? D is less than or equal to 0. If d is less than or equal to 0, then you don't have to decrease y, only x is incrementing, and that we have already doing here. In the while loop, x is incrementing anyhow, but based on the d value, either you have to decrease y or keep y as it is. And here the d is again changing due to increase in the x. So d will become d plus 4x plus 6. So that is the value of d. And once it is done, then I am going to put that pixel onto the screen. So put pixel xy that you have to go for, right? So this is the simple code of circle generation algorithm. Okay. So execution of this program that we will see in the next lecture. Till that time, you have to complete all the 3 practicals and give me the reports accordingly. Right? So you have to complete all the 3 practicals that we have covered till today. And in the next slot, we will be covering the Brazenham circle generation algorithm. We will be implementing the theory behind that. I have already discussed. Only the implementation part is remaining, that we will see in the next turn. Okay. Right. Is there any difficulty from your side? Yes, students. Is there any difficulty?
No, ma'am.
Regarding practicals or lectures as well? So today I am sharing here the notes of chapter 1 and 2. So you will find those notes on your WhatsApp group. Okay. So A division students, already I have shared the chapter number 1 and 2 notes, PPT on this WhatsApp group. I will be forwarding it to B division student also. Similarly, programs also I will share with you. Now in second chapter, only 2 bits are remaining. That is age flag algorithm and run length encoding that we have skipped, right? So those 2 bits I will be covering in tomorrow's lecture, and tomorrow we will be having a MCQ test which will be based on 2 chapters, first 2 chapters. Okay. So MCQ test will be there of 20 marks, which will be based on 2 chapters. I will be providing you with the link, and you have to attempt that test and submit me the you have to submit that Google form kind of thing to me. Tomorrow we will have the objective MCQ test on chapter number 1 and 2. Remember. Okay. So now the notes, the PPTs are with you. A division and B division students, chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. Okay. So let us stop now. In the next turn, we will be having the circle generation algorithm execution. And start preparing for chapter number 1 and 2 MCQ test tomorrow. Tomorrow I am having a 2 hours lecture, right? 2:30 to 4:30. So in 2:30 to 3:30, I will be teaching. And let us see how it works actually. 2:30 to 3:30, I will teach the 2 bits which are remaining. Then we will have test. Or if teaching will take a longer time, then I will postpone the test in the next week. But be prepared for the MCQ test of 20 marks based on chapter number 1 and 2. Okay. So if you have entered your roll numbers, you may leave now. There is no need actually to report these numbers now because the Excel sheet is getting generated. Who is attending for how much time and all. Okay. Thank you. So I will be leaving the meeting.